Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 8th Annual Michigan AI Symposium. I'm very excited to have you join us for a day of sharing and celebrating research in AI for science. I'm Rada Mihalcea. I'm a professor of computer science here at Michigan. I'm also director of the AI lab. And on behalf of our faculty and students, I'm delighted to have you here today. And I would like to just give you a very brief overview of the AI lab as your host for today. Our lab dates back to 1988. That's when it was founded. And this is a picture I like to share. It's one of our very first robots. Back at that time, when there were about 4 faculty and a handful of students doing research in this space. Now, of course, a lot has happened since then. And in fact, this is one of the new robots that one of our faculty, Professor Stella Yu, and her lab are working with. This is showing the research that was very recently presented at the premier Computer Vision Conference, CVPR, earlier this year. We have now grown from those early 4 faculty who founded the lab to currently 26 faculty covering the entire spectrum of foundational AI, including machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, graph algorithms, cognitive architectures, and more. And we are joined by about 100 PhD students, master's students, undergraduate students, as well as postdoctoral fellows. And together, we are the group that's leading advances in core AI on the University of Michigan campus. Our research has significant impact. We have, aside from making advances in foundational AI, we work closely with many different disciplines across the entire spectrum, from social sciences to healthcare to law. We are priding ourselves in being one of the top academic groups leading in AI. We are also very proud of our alumni achievements who went out to do amazing things from academia to industry and broadly making significant advances in AI and beyond. We are also taking a role in outreach and strengthening connections. We have a number of events, and I know some of you have been attending those, including weekly seminars, engagement with the community through Friday Night AI, and also, of course, today's event, this annual symposium. And with that, I'm very pleased to welcome Professor Arthur Lupia, who is our Associate Vice President for Research, who is leading some of the ongoing initiatives in AI. Professor Lupia has joined University of Michigan in 2001 as a professor of political science. And since then, he had a remarkable career leading in science and technology, including roles such as assistant director at the National Science Foundation between 2018 and 2022. He also co-chaired a subcommittee for the government on open science for the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy that was between 2019 and 2022. At Michigan in 2022, he became executive director for Bold Challenges, which is an initiative that's aiming to support large research initiatives going for major challenges. And in 2023, he became the Associate Vice President for Research. Under his leadership, we've seen an increase in the footprint of AI on campus, and he will tell us more about that. Welcome, Skip.
Thank you. It's great to see you. Thank you for being here. This is a vital moment, right? It's a vital moment for the world. It's a vital moment for the country. and it's a vital moment for universities. And what you're doing here is an important part of that. So if you think for a moment about what's a university and like what's the best thing about a university, you know, for about 1,000 years since the kind of modern versions of Oxford and Cambridge, universities are these human creations where you bring together subject matter experts from lots of different areas, and you put them in a small geographic space called a campus. And they bounce off of each other, and they challenge each other, and they inspire each other. And those challenges and inspiring, sometimes they feel great in the moment, and sometimes they're a little intimidating, right? But that's where innovation comes from. That's where new ideas come from. And universities are incredible at this. And the lives that we lead today, so much of that comes from what happened at universities. So many of the technologies, the conveniences of modern life, how we understand human beings, how we understand society, how we understand the universe, right? All affected by what happens at universities. Gatherings like this have changed the world many times over. And so then the question is, what are the stakes and the opportunities today? Because amongst all these opportunities and challenges, we have artificial intelligence, right? And you can't read, much on the internet or in the press or anything like that without getting pretty far, without reading a lot about AI. And so what do you do with that? Right, and so there's the technology, and the technology gets a lot of the headlines. But what you guys know, or at least what you're going to talk about today, are kind of the underlying assumptions and the potential uses. I'm fascinated by modeling, right? There's so much urgency in the challenges and opportunities of our day. And like impact is nice, but impact per unit of effort is way better, right? And a lot of what the conversations about modeling, I mean, you guys are in the middle of it, or how do you take energy and turn it into effectively memory that you can use to create innovation at a speed and scale that no one can imagine, right? But modeling's hard, because modeling is not just about the stack, it's not just about the technology, it's about the relationship between the material assets and the part of the world that you're trying to represent, the part of the world that you're trying to imagine. That's hard work, and it requires interdisciplinarity, and it requires challenging and inspiring one another, right, in a serious way, in a sustained way. Right? What I love about doing that work at a place like the University of Michigan is we have this incredible public mission. Like, public university, the public part of that is not secondary. Like, it is the point, right? The reason we exist, the reason people pay for their rooms and the salaries and the air conditioning and all this stuff is because they know what we can do when we convene, right? They know what we can do when we challenge each other, inspire each other. So that's why I'm so grateful for what you're doing today. In the Office of the Vice President of Research, we're doing some things to try and help that. About a year ago, with other campus leaders, we formed a relationship with Los Alamos. Los Alamos is incredible. I know everybody's seen the promotional video that won the Academy Award, but Los Alamos does a wide range of things in terms of energy. They have an incredible set of minds and assets, an incredible set of attention that's really complementary to the minds and assets and attention that we have here. Working together with them is extraordinary. They're great folks. I don't know if any of the Los Alamos people are here today because we've got a workstation in town now, but that's great. And the work with the national labs, with companies, is really an important way for us to expand how we think about taking basic ideas and putting them to application and working with partners that can put them at scale. Another thing we're doing, if you're on the U of M campus, is called AIM, A-I-I-M, the AI Institutes at Michigan. Here's a basic story. Like, is Michigan good at AI? Yes. But we have so many things. Like, we have the AI lab, and that's great, and we've got like 50 other things. And so the question is, wouldn't it be great if it was easier for someone on the outside to find all of them, find you? Wouldn't it be great if internally it was easier to find out what all the other groups are doing? And wouldn't it be great if there were internal incentives to work together when it would help you achieve your goals? So AIM, we've just started to build. A lot of people are excited about it. We'll be rolling out programs pretty soon. In fact, next week we're convening all the department chairs, I think, from all 3 U of M campuses to get a sense of what they're trying to do with AI. And this is from the engineering sciences that you know about, but all the way to comparative literature and things like that. So I just want to close by thanking you for being here, thanking you for making the choice to study these topics, and thanking you for taking the riskier move to do it in an intense interdisciplinary way. Because I think what all of us know is the biggest challenges in the world don't follow disciplinary boundaries. They don't care. Right? The biggest problems in the world have a structure, and the challenge for us is, can we understand enough about the structure to take the meager minds that we were born with, the technologies we can develop, and turn them into amazing outcomes for tomorrow. So thank you for being here. I'm really excited about the day you're going to have, and I look forward to everything you're going to discover. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 8th Annual Michigan AI Symposium. I'm Danai Koutra. I'm an associate professor in computer science and engineering.
I'm J. Park. I'm an assistant professor in computer science and engineering.
And we're the general chairs for this symposium. So when started back in 2018, this was a celebration of AI, like 30 years of AI at Michigan, and it has grown to a yearly tradition. So year after year, we bring here hundreds of people and amazing presenters from both academia and industry. The first year, we had just one keynote and 30 posters. And fast forward 8 years, we have 6 rising stars from across the US, 2 fantastic keynote speakers, 3 special guest speakers from the University of Michigan, over 70 posters, and over 500 people joining us. So we're honored to have 2 keynote speakers, Carla Gomez and Ricardo Vinuesa, who are leading the use of AI to tackle some of today's most pressing scientific challenges. Carla Gomez is a professor at computer science at Cornell University. She's the director of the Institute for Computational Sustainability and also co-director of the AI for Science Institute at Cornell. Her research spans large-scale constraint reasoning, optimization, and machine learning, all applied to advancing scientific discovery for a more sustainable future. Ricardo Vinuesa just joined the University of Michigan over the summer. Before that, he was an associate professor at the KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm. And his work focuses on using computational methods and AI to study and control turbulent flows with several impactful implications, including for sustainable air travel.
In addition to these 2 keynotes, we have 3 other guest speakers coming from University of Michigan, specifically from chemical engineering and computer science and engineering departments. And we're very excited to hear from Rebecca Lindsay and Alexander Rodriguez and Musharraf Chowdhury, who will share their research on how AI is driving progress in material discovery, scientific modeling across health sciences, and energy consumption of AI agents. And one of the highlights of our program, of our AI Symposium, is our rising stars, who will give spotlight talks and poster presentations. And this year, we have 6 outstanding early career researchers, including Joy Xu, Simla Kanuja, Yanis Daras, Vivek Gopalashinan, and Shirley Wu, and Chongwei Deng, nominated from institutions across the US, and who will share their significant contributions of AI research at places like Stanford, MIT, Harvard, and CMU. Near the end of this day, we will have an exciting panel discussions on AI and Gen AI for scientific discoveries, having conversations about the current and future directions of combining AI and generative AI technologies for scientific applications. And here's the brief schedule of today's program. So after the introductions, we're going to have a session 1, which also includes the keynote speaker, and a brief coffee break in session 2. And the 12:30, we're going to have the poster session as we discussed, and the lunch, and continue into session 3, which has another keynote speakers, and panel discussion, and the closing remarks and the awards.
All right. So we want to give a huge thank you to everyone who made this possible. The poster and demo chairs, Serafina Wang and Run Peng, the student volunteers and the support team, especially the program manager for strategic initiatives, Christina Serto, for all their work behind the scenes. And of course, we want to thank our sponsors whose generous support over the years have brought this symposium back again and again. So with that, enjoy the symposium, and we're about to start the first session.